The TV1 News is proudly brought to you by
Hello, this is TV1 News. I'm Jasmine Irujak. In this edition, technology impacts resource projects, audit to strengthen digital service delivery, and Simbu named in weekend lineup. Prime Minister James Marape has announced that he will travel to the United Kingdom next month to participate in a prestigious global conference on biodiversity, climate change, and forest conservation hosted by His Majesty King Charles III. The conference, to be held in England on July the 7th, 2025, brings together selected global leaders, philanthropists, and private sector representatives committed to advancing solutions for protecting the planet. Prime Minister Marape's participation underscores Papua New Guinea's growing international leadership in environmental stewardship, as home to 7% of the world's biodiversity and one of the largest undisturbed tropical rainforests on Earth. The PNG Chamber of Resources and Energy PNG Core has launched its PNG Resources Golden Exhibition today in Port Moresby. One of the key highlights discussed during the launch was the evolution of technology that impacts the resource projects in the country.
The PNG Chamber of Resources and Energy launched its PNG Resources Golden Exhibition today in Port Moresby, marking a significant milestone for the industry. One of the primary focuses of the event is the evolution of technology and its transformative impact on resource projects throughout Papua New Guinea. During the launch, PNG Co-President Anthony Smare emphasized on how advancements in technology are reshaping the landscape of mineral resource projects in the country. He noted that innovative tools and techniques are enhancing efficiency, safety, and sustainability in mining and energy sectors. This technological evolution is not only improving operational practices, but also plays a crucial role in driving economic growth and ensuring environmental stewardship.
And when you look through the stories of these projects, you start to realize and understand how we have shifted and changed as our role in the economy, in addressing the needs of the global economy, have evolved. So, for example, people came into Papua New Guinea, over 100 years, looking for gold because gold was a store of value. Because there was no real currency, there was a store of value. That's why gold was what they looked for. Then we saw the evolution as they found copper, and they realized copper had such great industrial uses. Hence Panguna, which drove the independence, our push to independence, and an Octedi to carry us after Panguna. The Ramu nickel story is really, really interesting because Ramu first came in to produce, if I may say, Tommy, nickel for steel. Steel was quite a base sort of product. There was not a lot of value in the nickel. It was after it was producing when we started to have the rise of the electric vehicles and the need for batteries and this new technology and the role that nickel had played in electric battery technology. And that's when we saw some of the rises with nickel prices, which changed the economics of Ramu, which also then started making some of our other stranded nickel deposits look more feasible for development.
The exhibition aims to showcase these technological advancements, provide a platform for industry stakeholders to collaborate, and highlight the importance of embracing modern solutions to meet the challenges faced by the resources sector. As PNG continues to develop its mineral and energy resources, the integration of cutting-edge technology will be pivotal in maximizing benefits for the economy and local communities.
One of the interesting things is AI and what's happening with AI. And AI has a number of connections for us, implications for us, apart from technology. The technology is going to help us go back with everything that all of these companies have been doing when they've been exploring before, and it will give us, almost rocket charge us, our ability to get the data and start looking for these metals and other energy deposits that can help drive our country and the world forward. That's number one. The second thing that's really amazing about AI, which is great for us, is AI uses a lot of energy. And more people use AI, it consumes a lot of energy. The AI usage, energy usage that comes from AI is like doubling apparently every month. And they estimate in about 2 years, AI will require the energy output of Japan. Where is that energy going to come from? Well, some of it's going to come from PNG gas.
The exhibition will commence on July 7 to the 27th, 2025. Freddie Mo, TV1 News.
Simbu province is gearing up for the 2025 local level government elections, but funding remains a critical issue that may impact polling in remote areas.
Election manager for Simbu, Reverend Tom Siune, has confirmed that preparations are in full swing with nominated candidates already in their 11-week campaign period ahead of polling on July 12.
Unlike elections before, we have yet to receive funding for the elections. So now I am looking forward to the provincial government and the 6 DDAs to come forward and support me to deliver this election successfully. Otherwise, I will be forced to face some wards in the rural settings simply because I may not have the funding and logistics to be able to reach them and ably conduct polling for these local wards.
Simbu has a total of 20 local level governments, including 2 urban and 18 rural, with 317 ward areas. A recent proclamation added 34 new wards, bringing the total to 351. Most new wards fall within Kundiwa Gembo, Chuave, Salt Nomane, and Gumini districts. The province also boasts the highest number of female candidates in the Highlands region, with 48 women nominated to contest the upcoming election. Despite the efforts by the electoral staff, a lack of funding has raised concerns. The national government has not fully funded the election, yet expects a mobile polling system to be implemented, a task Reverend Sionep says is not feasible under current constraints. He is now appealing to the Simbu provincial government and the 6 district development authorities to provide financial and logistical assistance.
So this appeal is generally to the provincial government, the Simbu provincial administration, the DDS of the 6 districts in the province to seriously come forward and assist the PNG Electoral Commission Simbu provincial office to deliver 2025 LG election.
Without additional funding, the election manager warns that polling in some remote wards may be at risk of cancellation.
The Papua New Guinea University of Technology in Lae, Morbe Province does not promote regionalism on campus. Registrar Veronica Thomas highlighted that ethnic groups are discouraged from registering associations within the university as the institution seeks to create a fair, equal, and inclusive environment for both staff and students.
The Papua New Guinea University of Technology in Lae, Morbe Province celebrated another milestone with the launching of its Gender Equity, Disability and Social Inclusion or GEDSI policy on the afternoon of Friday, June 13th. The launch makes PNG UOT the second university after Divine Word University to align its policies with JEDC. The policy promotes fairness, equity, and participation for all, regardless of gender, disability, or social background. Speaking after the launch, Registrar Veronica Thomas outlined that PNG UOT has already started making changes in both policy and infrastructure to promote JEDC. This includes altering some of the facilities to cater to the first student in a wheelchair this year, Gemi Piaki, a Bachelor of Science student from Enga Province. Thomas also alluded to creating a safe space for female students.
We want to make sure that our female students feel safe. And we've seen more female students coming out, more female students being able to talk and express themselves, and so, and be themselves, not to fear their male colleagues, especially in a Papua New Guinea environment. You know that in some regions of our country, there's some very violent and aggressive kind of environment, but that has really changed. And you see like the Highlanders are mixing with the coastal people, and it's just, and so we've tried to break down this ethnic, regionalism here. You will not, so we don't promote regional flags on this campus. We don't recognize regional groupings here. If you run a grouping, it has to be a grouping, a professional department grouping. We will fund it and we will support that. But not if you come like from a particular region and say you want to do this or that, we will not support that.
Kamila Guare, TVWAN News, Ley.
Inspector Ruben Giusu has been appointed as the coordinator for police reservists to oversee operations in both the Central and National Capital District Command. The NCD and Central Assistant Commissioner of Police, Benjamin Turi, announced this through a press statement. While welcoming him, Commander Turi also gave directives to all reservists working in the command to report to him and identify themselves so the command can know who they are. Yusu, who will be based at the Sarga Police Post and will be coordinating the reservists in the command. The police post will now be used as the operational center for reservists. TVWAN News continues after the break. Stay with us.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG e Mia. Pine PNG made.
Quick favorite meal for the day does feel good.
Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier but you like it more.
Tell him shorty come get it in. Come grind on me, but met it in. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, ice cold, no excuse. I tell him who's gonna bring that groove down. Pepsi with the fresh sound. Tell him who's gonna bring that groove down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Pepsi, give me some Pepsi bottle. Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi bottle.
We started missing tackles and then we gave away too many penalties. We need to find a way to start to, find some opportunities.
I'm a little bit upset. I'm a Queenslander myself. I reckon we would have kicked off at Spencer.
You reckon?
And gone after him a little bit.
Queensland are desperate.
I wouldn't drop Terry Evans, I really wouldn't.
No doubt whatsoever. Game 2, I think this will be one of the great games.
Welcome back. Vision City Cop Shop police personnel have arrested a 57-year-old woman and 2 men from Tarihela province for having in possession 11 bags of wrapped marijuana weighing 13 kg. They were caught while traveling in a taxi from Jackson's airport to their residence on Thursday, June the 12th. The 3 were charged under Section 631 of the Controlled Substances Act 2021 for knowingly having in their possession these drugs. NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Warwick Simatab confirmed that the 3 are now in custody and will appear in court this week. Simatab says people are bringing drugs from their respective provinces by plane, but they get away because of poor security coordinations at the airport. At the beginning of the 3rd quarter of 2025, the government, through the Department of Information and Communication Technology, will undertake a whole-of-government ICT audit to strengthen digital public service delivery and enhance cybersecurity resilience. The audit will also scrutinize ICT organizational structures, internal policies, risk assessments, and systems used by or offering services to public bodies. Minister for Information and Communications Technology Timothy Masiu announced that the government, through the Department of Information and Communications Technology, is set to undertake a comprehensive whole-of-government ICT audit beginning in the 3rd quarter of 2025. This is part of an ongoing effort to strengthen digital public service delivery and enhance cybersecurity resilience. This audit by DICT will assess public bodies' compliance with cabinet-endorsed ICT policies and gazetted technical standards under the Digital Government Act 2022, Minister Masiu stated. The ICT Minister said this review, overseen by the Public Service ICT Audit Committee, will focus on the effectiveness and security of government digital infrastructure and ensure that public bodies adhere to mandated standards, including the government technology stack, domain name standards, email standards, website standards, cybersecurity standards. These standards are not optional. They form part of the regulatory framework designed to enforce accountability, security, and interoperability across government digital systems, Minister Masiu explained. The audit will also scrutinize ICT organizational structures, internal policies, risk assessments, and systems used by or offering services to public bodies. Minister Masiu urged all public entities to cooperate by granting access to systems, submitting requested documentation, and supporting follow-up assessments. Findings from the audit will be presented to Cabinet and Parliament, with enforcement measures expected from the Public Service ICT Steering Committee to ensure compliance. The Department of Information and Communications Technology and PNG Dataco Limited have signed the Managed Service Agreement declaring PNG Dataco's role as the government's implementation partner for critical digital infrastructure. Minister for Information and Communications Technology, Timothy Masiu, emphasized the significance of the partnership in strengthening PNG's digital ecosystem. He said the signing establishes PNG Dataco as the government's implementation partner for GovCloud infrastructure services, the Central Electronic Data Repository, and the government private network. Masiu affirmed that PNG Dataco's stewardship guarantees that all government and citizen data remains securely within Papua New Guinea's borders, protected under the national laws. With the agreement in place, PNG's digital government agenda enters full-scale implementation, building trust in government digital services and enhancing operational efficiency across the public sector. We apologize as we are unable to bring you today's market report. This is TVWAN News. Stay tuned for overseas news after the break.
From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans, expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend, PNG's own coffee.
Really messing with your game. Time to sweep him out of the room. Or maybe not.
Ding bang ding, ding ding bang, bam bam bang, ding bang ding, bam bam.
For Simon, life is simple. Dreams seem distant, yet hope remains. One ticket, one dream. Simon's world changed forever. Yes! From small dreams to big possibilities. The One-Top Jackpot is here for everyone. Win big every day.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Rasa please take me there again. Oh, baby, 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 I'd rather be black boy than then she walk away from me.
Thanks for staying with us. The Red Cross has announced changes to its donation rules, which currently restrict many gay, bisexual, and transgender donors.
Well, there's two rule changes that will be coming into place. Now, the first is the removal of sexual activity-based wait times for the donation of plasma, and that will come into effect from July 14th. Now, under current donor rules here in Australia, that prevents many gay and bisexual men, as well as transgender women who have sex with men, from being able to donate blood and plasma if they've engaged in sexual activity in the last 3 months. Lifeblood has effectively called this rule change a plasma pathway, and they say that there's extensive research that now shows there's little to no impact when it comes to donating plasma, as well as having those wait times. The second rule change, which has been pre-approved by the TGA and Lifeblood are hoping will be implemented in 2026, is the removal of gender-based sexual activity rules for donations of blood and platelets. Now, what that all means is that all donors will now be asked the same questions when it comes to their sexual activity, and that's regardless of their gender or their sexuality. It's something that the organisation says is a significant milestone, and they've acknowledged that previous rules had limited many members of the LGBTQIA+ community. They say that they're hopeful that this will increase donations by more than 95,000 per year. Certainly one way to pump up that blood drive, but as always, if you are looking to donate any form of blood or plasma, always check online for the eligibility criteria, especially before you head in for your appointment.
Growth in the Pacific has slowed, inflation has fallen, and the female workforce is being underutilized. Those are the key findings of the World Bank's latest economic update. The semi-annual update focused on 11 countries, which include Fiji, Solomon Islands, Palau, Vanuatu, Tonga, Samoa, Marshall Islands, Nauru, Micronesia, Tuvalu, and Kiribati. The report noted that growth in the Pacific has slowed down from 5.5% in 2023 to 3.8% in 2024. The World Bank's Pacific Economic Update found that Pacific nations showed economic resilience in 2024 and early 2025. But the overall pace of growth in the region has slowed, with the medium-term outlook indicating a further slowdown. A Sydney mom is calling for change after being told her daughter would have to wait 5 months for a scan her doctor said was urgent. The 5-year-old needs sedation before a CT scan because she has an intellectual disability. Advocates say medical services don't do enough to accommodate people with disability, and it's costing many years of their lives.
Tried everything to reassure her about having a CT scan, but nothing works.
Scan.
So the 5-year-old who lives with intellectual disability and profound hearing loss must be fully sedated for the procedure.
She is highly sensitive to sound and movement. She's also extremely anxious in any medical setting.
Worried about a growth in Imogen's middle ear, a specialist recently ordered a CT scan for her. Inika was shocked when told the next appointment for a sedated scan was in 5 months.
If Imogen was a typical 5-year-old, she would have had her scan and her doctor would have had the results within a week.
More than 450,000 Australians live with intellectual disability. Those needing sedation or support during medical procedures often struggle.
If someone can't undergo investigations, they may never receive the diagnosis and they have no chance of accessing treatment.
Research shows people with intellectual disability die on average 27 years earlier than the rest of the population. A Queensland study which looked into deaths of people with intellectual disability found many people with disability were not diagnosed with the condition that led to their death until just before or after their death.
Lack of access to support for procedures and investigations can really mean the difference between life and death.
Imogen's mum didn't rest until she secured a CT scan under general anaesthetic for her daughter. The radiologist reported the growth had caused near-complete obliteration of part of her ear.
Lie down very, very still.
She had surgery to remove the mass the following day.
It could have grown towards her brain and it could have just continued to cause more catastrophic damage in her head.
New South Wales Health has told the ABC it's committed to providing safe, inclusive and person-centred care to people with disability. Decisions to conduct imaging under anaesthetic or sedation are based on a patient's needs and done in consultation with a treating practitioner.
Religious institutions will be held vicariously liable for abuse committed by priests under new Victorian laws to be introduced by the end of the year. Last month, the ABC revealed how victim survivors of abuse were being further traumatized after a High Court decision in 2024 found priests were not considered employees, meaning the church couldn't be held liable for their behaviour.
Found in favour of the Catholic Church, ruling that priests weren't direct employees, so it couldn't be held liable for the abuse perpetrated by them. The landmark decision that sent shockwaves through victim survivors groups and prompted a campaign urging the state government to introduce laws that explicitly recognise the relationship between the church and priests. This morning, the Attorney-General told Labor MPs he would introduce vicarious liability laws to do exactly that by the end of the year.
I want to acknowledge the pain that these victim survivors have experienced. So we are listening, this government is listening, and we will develop legislation that will be before the Parliament as soon as possible.
Victoria had wanted a national approach, but other states already have vicarious liability. They're just not retrospective like Victoria's will be. Dozens of Labor MPs had signed a letter demanding action, and there's already a bill before the Parliament from the Legalised Cannabis Party to change the law. But Labor won't support a private member's bill.
Our clients who are victim survivors already suffer horrific psychiatric disorders or conditions only because of the abuse that they have suffered. So we need to get this bill introduced as a matter of urgency.
The devil is now in the legislative detail, and this is a complicated piece of law. Critics warn of unintended consequences for community clubs and youth groups who may have had abusive volunteers in the past. But for victim survivors, this is a step in the right direction.
The government of Solomon Islands and Vanuatu are teaming up on an ambitious plan to create a massive marine reserve covering 6 million square kilometres of ocean. It's called the Melanesian Ocean Reserve, and if it goes ahead, it will connect the waters of not just Solomon Islands and Vanuatu, but also Papua New Guinea and New Caledonia. It's being described as the largest indigenous-led marine reserve in the world. While it's not officially in place yet, once it's up and running, it'll be one of the biggest protected ocean areas in the Pacific. Free-to-air television could soon be lost in some regional areas of South Australia and New South Wales. The WIN network and 7 West Media have struggled to come to a broadcasting agreement, with 7 set to be restricted to internet-only broadcasts from July.
To the Gold Coast, Peter Kennedy has travelled across the country to see the Adelaide Crows play.
It's a big part of just life.
But as a regional fan, watching his favourite sport is about to get harder. From the 1st of July, the WIN network will cease broadcasting 7 network signals in 3 regional areas: Mount Gambier and the Riverland in South Australia and Griffith in New South Wales. The company's unable to come to an agreement, with WIN saying 7 West Media chose not to renew.
For some of these communities, they're going to be missing out on a big slice of the Australian media pie.
It would be a big, big, big loss. We've lost enough over the years as it is.
There are legislative obligations for free-to-air events, such as the AFL Grand Final and others, so I'll be interested to see how it's proposed that those legislative requirements are met.
Viewers are being directed to streaming as an alternative.
In our club, with some of the younger members and some of the older members, they don't have Wi-Fi, they struggle just operating a phone, they don't have a computer. So when you said use 7+, they're going to be, for want of a better word, lost.
I would not pay any of the companies that charge you to watch so-called free sport.
WIN says no jobs are expected to be lost as a result of any change, while Seven West Media says it's willing to continue negotiating with WIN to maintain free-to-air access, offering a glimmer of hope for regional viewers that a deal can be struck by the end of June.
You're watching TVWAN News in Sports. PNG RFL announces Round 11 as amazing round in Digicel ExxonMobil Cup.
Rugby League is a powerful force that unites Papua New Guinea and develops our youth. Through partnerships with the PNG LNG Kumals, Grassroots Rugby League and Justin Olam, we aim to instill skills to last a lifetime.
I'm community blue. When it's on you walk him, I'm a community. You must all community.
When we invest in people, we invest in tomorrow's possibilities.
Use Savetu Olsem condom and Wambla way where you can abrusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy. Tingim, use him condom long right way. Stop safe na look out him yet. Use him condom all get a time. Suppose you know save long HIV status long partner blog you or suppose you got plenty partner. Use him condom good all get a time. Long haborusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use him condom banisim you yet na future blog you. This platok save ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Trace Urban is Trace's flagship TV, exclusively dedicated to the best urban music and artists. Trace Urban offers a unique mix of the most popular American, European, African and Caribbean urban music genres. Trace Urban benefits from the power and musical expertise of Trace, which has endlessly promoted African music stars since 2003 on all its channels. Welcome to Trace Urban. We are urban music.
Rasa please take me there again. Oh, baby, 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 I'd rather be black boy than to see you walk away from me.
There was a war on, and yet many of the sites of my projects had survived. My buildings were devised to endure such erosion of shoreline.
When dogs get sick, they often bite the hand of those who fed them, until someone mercifully puts them down.
The Brutalist premieres Saturday, June 21st, 10 p.m. on HBO.
Walking me so strong in corner. No mutuals are walking. No me less from me and now. No me less from me and never yet. Yaman me long you go so rare. Most what I talk from you. No me less from me and now. Yaman me long you making me so rare. You wasn't making me now me less from me and now.
Welcome back. The State of Origin Game 2 will be played tonight at 7:30 p.m. Although the game is being played in Australia, Papua New Guineans are passionate about it with a huge fan base for both the Queensland Maroons and New South Wales Blues. Tonight, fans across PNG will be cheering from their homes watching the live broadcast on TVWAN Sports Channel 2. Pacific Oz Sports Cricket Invitational, the Australian Indigenous women's cricket team stands undefeated with a confident 6-wicket win over Vanuatu women on Tuesday the 17th of June at the Amini Park in Port Moresby. Chasing 95 for victory, the Australian side reached the target in 18.4 overs, finishing on 95 for 4 thanks to a disciplined team performance with both bat and ball.
Earlier, Vanuatu women were restricted to 94 for 8 in their allotted 20 overs. The standout performer with the bat was skipper Rachel Andrew, who anchored the innings with an unbeaten 56 of 54 deliveries, including 7 boundaries. The collapse of the middle order resulted in wickets tumbling quickly, as Vanuatu slumped from 27 for 2 to 27 for 5 in the space of 3 balls, with Ella Hayward snaring a sensational break for Vanuatu's innings. Hayward finished with figures of 3 for 17 in 3 overs. Opening bowler Australia Indigenous team's Kaylee Black also made an early impact, claiming 2 for 19 of her 4 overs, while Grace Abdi chipped in with 2 for 12, including key middle-order breakthroughs. The Australian Indigenous team paced their chase steadily. Despite losing 4 wickets, they always remained in control of the required rate, comfortably reaching the target with 8 balls to spare, winning the match. This result sees the Australian Indigenous women continue their strong showing in the Pacific Oz Sports Cricket Invitational. At the same time, Vanuatu will look to regroup for the remaining match days on Thursday, 19th June, Friday, 20 June, and Saturday, 21st June.
The PNG women's national cricket team, the Lewas, delivered a strong performance yesterday as they secured a 4-wicket victory over Samoa women in Match 5, Day 3 of the Pacific Oz Sports Cricket Invitational. Winning the toss and opting to bowl first, the Lewas made full use of the conditions with a bowling display that dismissed Samoa for 64 runs in 17 overs.
PNG's veteran all-rounder Pauke Siaka led the bowling attack, taking 4 wickets for just 3 runs in her 3 overs, including a maiden. She was well supported by Dikar Lohia, who picked up 2 for 7, and Mary Tom, who also took 2 wickets. Samoa's top scorer was Talili Iosefo, who managed a gritty 22 of 25 balls, but the PNG bowlers maintained consistent pressure throughout the innings. Samoa's batting order crumbled with 4 batters dismissed as they struggled to make score. Chasing 65 for victory, the Lewas faced early setbacks, losing wickets at regular intervals. However, steady contributions from the middle order ensured they reached the target in 12.2 overs, finishing at 66 for 6. Despite the effort from the Samoan bowling attack, PNG's batters built a score. PNG's Pauke Siaka was named player of the match with an outstanding bowling attack displayed on the field. PNG claimed their 2nd win in the tournament. The Pacific Oz Sports Cricket Invitation is an important platform for showcasing the rising talent in Pacific women's cricket.
In a bid to bounce back from a narrow 2-point loss against the Sunshine Coast Falcons, PNG Hunters coach Paul Ayton has made pivotal changes to the lineup ahead of this weekend's critical matchup against the Brisbane Tigers. Key alterations include the return of Judah Rimbu and the inclusion of Finlay Glare in the half, reflecting Ayton's focus on addressing the team's downfall in the previous game.
Show and go, goes right through, he will score! Judah Rimbu returns to the starting lineup in the number 9 jersey, taking over from Trevor Tapia Solu.
Finley Glare has been moved to the number 6 position with Garo Voro rested for the encounter. Josh Lau is set to make his long-awaited return as the interchange player in the number 14 jersey.
It's good to have Judah back. So Rimbu's come in. We're pushing Finley to left half. So Judah will start. Josh Lau will make his long-awaited return on at 14. Been working with Gyro for the last few weeks. Just a few things that he needed to improve. And I mean, he's a young kid, and he's just, we've given him his shot, and he's played really well. I think he's just got to go back and work on a few things. And it allows us to also start to get Josh to start getting ready to come into the game too. So, which is a good thing, because then it puts pressure on both, Gyro, which was there, and also Jamie. I mean, we know what Sil's like. He's a very competitive player, and he goes really hard. So, I think our big boys are looking forward for the challenge.
After analysing the team's performance last week, Coach Ayton emphasised the need to fill some gaps in their play. He was glad to have Rimbu back. His inclusion allows Claret to move to half-back, enabling the Hunters team to utilise their depth effectively. Regarding Garo Voro's recent performance, Ayton expressed confidence in his potential for growth.
Yeah, well, you can see, Jamie always goal kicks after training, so he always, he's pretty consistent with that. He's just going through a bit of a hard time with his goal kicking at the moment. But we've got a really good couple of goal kickers in Tapia as well. But Tapia will be out this week, so Elijah's always been he's gone now, but Elijah's always goal kicking as well. So no, we just got to keep at it and make sure Jamie's morale's high, and we also have that backup in place as well.
Addressing the team's struggles with goal kicking in their last game, Ayton acknowledged Mavoko's current slump but reaffirmed his faith in the players' abilities. He said Mavoko has been consistent in training but just need the support from everyone at this tough phase. Eliza and Tapia can serve as backups.
It's basically worth 4 points to us. You can look at it that way. So it's a big game for us, and I know it's a big game for Tigers as well. They're sitting just underneath us, and it's probably big for their season as well. So it's a big game for both clubs, and I'm sure Chachi, it's a big game for him too. So I'm looking forward to it.
Ayton commended the contributions of players like FL Capinias during last week's game, noting their capacity to influence the match positively. Despite recent challenges, Ayton believes in the resilience and confidence of the Hunters, stating that the squad is regrouping and prepared to compete fiercely against the Tigers. With vital competition points at stake, this matchup is crucial before the team heads into a bye week. Ayton concluded by highlighting the benefit of blending new talent into the lineup, which enhances the team's depth as the season progresses. The Hunters are looking to reclaim their momentum this Sunday in what promises to be an intense clash against the Brisbane Tigers. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Football's power to transform communities and the lives of individuals is taking center stage in Nadi, Fiji this week, with the OFC's Social Responsibility Forum 2025 underway. The forum, which runs until Friday, is made possible with the support of partners Team Up and UEFA Foundation for Children, and has several aims. The forum wants to recognize and celebrate the social impact of football in the region. Another key aspect of this forum is to facilitate social responsibility, leaders to connect, exchange knowledge, and share resources. Also built into the program are opportunities for participants to explore personal and professional development to support their well-being and goals and careers in social impact. The remainder of the week will see further discussions and strategizing on other plans of power football pillars, a resilient Oceania and a healthy Oceania, safeguarding and other sport for good topics with expert input. And that ends the sports segment. We'll now have the weather forecast. Regional forecast. Southern. Port Moresby cloudy with possible evening thunderstorms and few showers, rain drizzles. Daru, squally showers, rain and possible thunderstorms, then cloudy. Kerma, becoming cloudy with evening showers, rain and thunderstorm. Alotau, rain showers and possible thunderstorms, then cloudy tonight. Womase, Ley and Wewak, becoming cloudy with evening possible showers, rain and thunderstorms. Madang, partly cloudy with evening showers, rain and thunderstorms. Vanimo, partly cloudy with possible evening showers, rain and thunderstorm. New Guinea Islands, Kokopo Robau, cloudy with occasional rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Lorengau, partly cloudy with few evening showers. Kavieng, cloudy with frequent evening periods of showers, rain and thunderstorm. Boka, cloudy with frequent heavy showers, rain and thunderstorms. Highlands, Mount Hagen, Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy with evening frequent showers, rain and thunderstorms. Goroka, Banz and Kundiawa, cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Ocean forecast, Coral Sea, seas moderate to rough with east to southeast winds of 20 to 33 knots with gusts. Solomon Sea and Bismarck Sea, seas slight to moderate with east to southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. And Pacific Ocean, seas smooth to slight with northeast to easterly winds of 5 to 15 knots. And coastal waters forecast, waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Island, to Kerama to Yule Island, to Hood Point to Summer Island. Seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters, rising to 3 meters along the warning areas. Waters of Summer Island to Cape Vogel and All Milling Bay Islands, seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters. Waters of Cape Vogel to Huon Gulf to Finchefin, sea 0.5 to 1.3 meters. And that ends TV1 News. Thanks for watching. Good night.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by